Arguably one of the most important skills to learn in all of Rocket League is knowing how to aerial. This is something that becomes a staple part of your gameplay as you move up the ranks, and is a skill you should be learning as early as gold. Today we will cover not only how to start learning aerials, but the ways you can gain complete aerial control of your car in very little time at all. I'm also going to be showing you very easy to follow instructions and examples, so this video is probably best to follow along while in free play. Anyway, let's get into it. First off, for those of you who are just learning how to aerial in general, the very first thing you need to focus on is understanding your car. The basics to all car control is understanding the way your car moves and how boost can change that movement. When it comes to aerials, to learn the very basics, all you need to do is jump, then tilt your car back so the back end of the car is facing the ground, and then hold boost. This is going to cause you to shoot up into the air as the boost will be underneath you. Now, first thing to keep in mind is that your car is going to go in the opposite direction to the way the boost is facing. So if you find yourself flying out of control or not being able to fly directly upwards, it's because you're tilting your car too far in one direction and your boost is not facing directly downwards. Once you start to notice that, you can very easily learn to readjust and start getting the very basics down. Next is like a baby step to learning your first aerials. You should start in one goal, then jump and boost into the air again, and try to make it from one side of the field to the other. You can first do this by holding the boost and pointing the nose of the car towards the other goal, and then when you get comfortable with that, try tapping the boost and feathering it like you're seeing on the screen now, and then go back and forth up and down the field. This feathering drill is going to be a massive help later on. Do those two drills over and over until you can comfortably go back and forth. Then we move into the first training pack drill, which is going to be perfect for those of you sitting around gold and plat, and it's going to be even better to keep using as you climb higher up the ranks. Essentially, you're going to jump into this training pack, and yes, the code will be linked in the description, and you are going to focus on just the first 3 shots. As you get better and better, you can move your way up, but if you are just starting out, I want you to only focus on these first 3. These will teach you everything you need to know about timing, feathering the boost, and how to get your car going where you want it to go in the air. If you aren't scoring, it doesn't matter. You first want to focus on just hitting the ball and then work your way up to scoring. Continue with this until you are comfortable flying up to hit the ball, and you will have mastered the very basics of aerialing. Next, we focus on the drill that will take those of you who sit around plat and diamond up to the next level. I'm assuming at this point that you are comfortable flying to hit the ball, but you might struggle when it comes to controlling the car much past that point. Not to worry, here are the drills for you to do and what they're going to help you work on. First of all, go into free play and sit in one of the goals. Then fly to the other goal, but backwards. You can do this as fast or as slow as you want, and when you first start, try doing it with ball cam off so you can see where you're going. Then, as you get better and better, you want to turn ball cam on and try to judge when you're going to hit the wall and try to land wheels down. As you can see here, I'm going from one goal to above the second goal, and I'm trying to judge when I think I'm going to hit the wall using my peripheral vision. If I can see the side walls getting a little bit closer and I can feel like I'm getting close to that back goal, that's when I start to turn my car. This is just going to help you instinctively learn to turn the car in different situations and land wheels down when going up for the ball, which is ultimately going to make your recoveries a lot faster. Now, the reason you do this is because with ball camera on, once you pass over the ball, your camera is going to flip and you won't be able to see where you're going. And it's just going to put you in an uncomfortable situation, but the more you get used to that situation, the more comfortable it becomes, and then you get used to flying backwards. And once you're used to flying backwards, you have opened up a whole new way to control your car. However, this is a big drill. You might not get this at first, but it is very simple and easy to repeat, so the more you do it, the easier it will become. The next drill is to fly around the outside of the field. Once again, a very simple drill, but can be difficult depending on how used to flying you already are. Now, you'll see that I'm using very little air roll, and that's just because I'll cover air roll later on in this video, but I do think you should learn how to do this both with and without air roll. Once you get used to this, do the same again, but backwards. This is when it's going to start getting actually tricky, like properly tricky. Flying backwards from one side of the field to the other is one thing, but going around the edges and changing direction while flying backwards is a whole other story. Do not rush this one. This can take a lot of time, but it is just another skill to add to your control, which is going to make you that much better. Past this point, you once again want to head back into the same training pack and make your way further up the list of shots. At this point, you should be aiming to score them. Next, the part that I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for, we get into air rolling. Now, just to get this out of the way, I will be making a completely separate video on air rolling, an in-depth guide, and I'll go over every single thing I know. But for this video, we're going to go over just a few drills to work on your air rolling and how you can quickly improve and become confident. As a general statement, as I'm sure some of you might already have noticed in the top left of the screen, my air roll buttons are L1 for normal air roll, square for air roll left, and circle for air roll right. You might be wondering why I'm not using L2 for directional air roll like I mentioned in this video, and that is simply because I tried it out for 2 weeks, realized that I didn't really need it because I don't want to go pro, and I wasn't keen on starting to learn air roll all over again, as that would be making a lot of my YouTube videos look worse in the process. Those are my controls. I mainly use air roll and air roll left. So that's what you're going to be seeing the majority of the time in these drills on your screen. The first drill to get used to air roll is to sit in one goal and fly to the other goal while spinning the entire time. Now, this is not me saying you need to spin the entire time while in game, this is just a way to get used to the movement. You go back and forth, and once you're comfortable, you go out to the sides and try to bring yourself back into the middle. The aim is to force yourself to be comfortable moving out and in, back and forth, up and down the pitch so you can readjust your car in any way you want, whenever you want. These are small drills that will help you in a big way. Don't skip over them or only do it a few times. I even do it every now and then these days when I'm zoned out or talking to chat just to keep myself working on something. They're crucial drills to work on the control needed to improve your air rolling abilities. Next with air roll, we take this drill up a step. You're basically doing the same thing, but you are going to drive up the inside of the goal and drive out like you're seeing on the screen now. This allows you to keep your flip, and then mid-flight, you're going to flip in a random direction and try to recover as quickly as you can so you can continue on to the other goal, and then repeat. Doing this puts your car in a really awkward position and forces you to quickly think to readjust your car as you go. This is a drill you can get used to pretty fast, and so the last drill to train your air rolling is going to be to air roll around the field and try to get as close as you can to the wall, going at it with speed. You want to air roll as you fly, head directly towards a wall, and pull back and stop yourself hitting it at the very last second. Now, this might seem like a bit of a weird one and that it might not do much, but it is teaching you to turn your car precisely in a very short time period. If you can't readjust in time, your car hits the wall. If you can readjust in time, it means you're getting better at controlling your car. Simple. Always think back to the first thing mentioned in this video, that your car moves in the opposite direction to the boost. So if you can get the hang of being able to control the way you're boosting, you're going to very easily be able to control and move your car in the air. With all these drills, you should be good to finish off the training pack as well, and that would round you up for a complete training routine to improve your aerial car control. Like I said earlier on, I'm working on an air roll guide for a more in-depth look at things, and that guide will contain some of these drills, but that will come out in a few weeks. Also, I left out workshop maps in this video because they aren't accessible to everyone, and so I wanted something that could kind of work for everyone, but if you can use them, then you should. It makes sense to use what's available to you. Hopefully this has helped those of you who've been struggling with your aerial car control, and I hope that you find the training routine quite linear and easy to follow. Please let me know in the comments how things are going for those of you who do try this routine, and I'll try to respond to a bunch of you. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll see you next time.